Hey folks, it's Karen again with Plattr, and I am not alone today. With me, I have our fantastic WordPress expert and Plattr's web development director, Jason Hartley. He goes by J-Ray, so if I am calling him by that nickname, it's not some random person, it is him. And he's got a beard. Jay, you want to say hello?
Hello, I am J-Ray and I have a beard.
Awesome. Well, a massive question that I constantly get asked is how we submit structured data on a Shopify store, right? So that's one of the challenges, especially because if you're on a Shopify install on your main domain, you don't have the luxury of having those WordPress plugins that do it automatically. Some theme files do have it, but it does not have it. Most of the theme files don't have it on the homepage of your Shopify store. So we're going to walk you through exactly how you're going to do that on this call. So I'm going to start first, if you guys can see my screen, with the reason, right? Structured data is a big deal. We talk about this all the time. The last, 10 updates from Google have been mostly about structured data or the Google Search Console, and we've been stressing the importance of both of those things at Plattr for quite some time. But structured data is this, right? If you're setting it up correctly, you're telling Google what you want to show when you do show up natively in SERP, right? So these are all what they're called rich snippets, and they come in various forms, right? They come in, of course, the Google Shopping. They come in the knowledge panel over here. They also come towards the bottom when you're when they're showing additional products, and as well as location if you do have a physical location, and video if you have video, right? All kinds of great ways you can show up organically through SERP, and if you're doing it right, your Shopify store can help to get these things showing up organically, which is always that end goal. So we're going to show you how you do it. First, I'm using one of my client sites as an example, drseeds.com. This is when we first realized, for the purposes of this video, we realized, we don't have any structured data submitted. This is what it was before we submitted it. So J-Ray and I went through an exercise, and really it's him and doing most of the legwork. I'm just taking the credit for it. But we went through and we actually ended up adding all of these things manually. So we're going to show you how to do that on today's call, but also the important elements that you want to have in structured data, because you can easily go down a rabbit hole of all the various sets of information that you can have. So a couple of things that we wanted to add onto the homepage of this submit to Google. First, I wanted to make sure that a product was featured as part of the structured data pieces. Next, a web page object, as well as organization. So after we submitted it, this is what it looks like, and what J-Ray is going to help walk you through to submit for yourself as well. So again, I'm using the structured data testing tool, drseeds.com, same website. We tested it again after submitting it, and now I have all the pertinent information that you should be submitting for the homepage to Google, right? So not only a web page, a website, and an organization, and I have a product in here. Just a note, I know that I have 3 warnings here on the product, but these products those warnings are simply that. It's just a warning to make sure that, hey, is this intended? And in our case, these warnings are intended, so I'm going to leave them alone. But for the most part, you see us, if you go through and actually go, and you can test any structured data piece yourself just by going into this tool. I can see any of my competitors in the structured data pieces that they have submitted to Google as well. That's another little tip if you want to write some compelling descriptions and possibly some pricing. You can check it out from there. But yeah, these are the pieces of information that we thought was most important for this product on the homepage. So I'm going to switch it over to J-Ray as he's going to walk you through how he went from this to this. So Jay, if you want to take it away.
All right, so this first part, web page, is just a general, object saying that, hey, it's a web page. And if you expand it, it just, you're going to put kind of like your typical SEO meta description, title, description, and then publisher, or you're going to want to put organization, unless it's a personal site or something like that, but typically it's going to be an organization in that name. The organization just goes further into it. You put your logo, which has specific parameters. It needs to be no wider than 600 pixels and no taller than 60. So it's really a low res logo. I don't know why it's that small, but That's what they want. Your URL and the same as are all your social media links right there. So you can tell Google, okay, this is where I'm at here on the web.
And just to show you an example of what that looks like, when you look at, here's a great example of if after you submit this and Google it decides to show you up, like, so this is a really great example of how these pieces of information are going to show. It's going to show up as your company in the knowledge panel when people are Googling you. So again, we've submitted the description that we want to show rather than relying on Google to pull it dynamically based upon the homepage elements. Now we're able to tell Google exactly what to show it within the knowledge panel as well. I just noticed something that we should probably add, J-Ray, is our customer service line for Dr. Seeds. But yeah, have those pieces of information handy. Sorry, go ahead, Jay.
And so then you've got website, which this one is specifically suggesting to Google, say, hey, this is where you can search on our site. So whenever you get a result in Google, it'll have that search bar. And with Shopify, it's kind of tricky because it can be dependent on your theme. So I had to do some digging around to find that, because a lot of times they'll use what's called Ajax just to load it all within the same page without refreshing. And then some themes have an actual search page. This one luckily had both, so I found it, and it's usually slash search question mark Q equals whatever and stuff like that. So that's typically how it works.
It is important to note that there are Shopify themes that do submit specific types of structured data to Google. Like, for example, on the theme that we're using for this client on Dr. Seeds, all the products are listed and submitted to Google as structured data, but specifically on the product pages only, right? So I'm talking specifically about the homepage, right? How do you do it manually? So we're going to go into that. So Jay, if you want to walk us through.
Okay, so how we added it to the homepage is you're going to go down to online store themes and then click the customize button. And that's going to bring up your themes customizer. And this is different for every theme. So it's not going to be exactly the same, but they typically have these modules on the left side, and hopefully they include a custom HTML module. So if you see down here under take a chill pill, that's the product that we have on the homepage. Under custom HTML, I left subheading and heading blank just so no one can see it unless you look at the source code. And then I added the JSON object for the schema markup right there. And then if you back out there, at the very bottom, I have another custom HTML module to where I added the rest for just the homepage with organization, the search box, and web page.
Awesome. So that's how you're able to go from this to this, and this makes me happy. I just wanted to note a couple of other things. If your theme files on Shopify do not have any automatic submission of structured data to Google, you can do it manually, and it's just a little annoying, but it's not terribly difficult. If you Google, right over here, I have it on this tab. If you Google structured data markup helper, you come into a page that looks like this, right? And you can go through, and this is where I actually went through, and let's go into an actual product. Let's say we wanted to get some structured data on this product submitted. We're going to copy this link, pop it into here, select products, start tagging. And this is specifically for rich snippets to show up like this and within the knowledge panel and the other snippets that you see towards the bottom of the SERP. So from here, you can then start highlighting what it is that you want. In this case, this is the name of the product, right? And again, you see it right over here. You can exit out if you don't like that. You can also edit it if you wanted it as well. The reviews get a little funky, right? You want to make sure to choose that it is the reviewer, not the rating value, but the reviewer. Oh wait, there is.
It's going to be aggregate rating.
Aggregate rating.
One more
up. Is it one more up? There we go. There we go. And we're looking for the count. Yeah. But so, all sorts of things here.
I do have a note though. You did highlight 5 reviews, and it'll probably, hopefully it tells you the errors, but like both on that count, it needs to just be 5 with the price,
Good to
no
know.
currency symbol, because then there is a currency um, parameter that you add within that says USD or whatever EU.
Awesome. Thank you for that. That's
So
actually
just
super
keep it
helpful.
very simple when it comes to numbers. They just want the number and stuff like that.
Nice. And then you can highlight all of this to get your description of the product. So anyway, after you're done marking up the elements of this page, including if you scroll down below, the reviews that you want highlighted too, which is a nice way, you can create this HTML. It spits out the actual files that, you can see we used when Jerry was submitting this manually through the Shopify customized theme. One note that J. Ray did have earlier for me that I don't think we mentioned was when you are doing this manually, just make sure to use custom files and not don't edit the theme, but you're going through online store through themes and this customize button. Is that correct, Jay?
Yes, I mean, if you are a developer, you can edit the theme files and add some microdata and stuff like that. But for the layman, just go click customize and leave it at that.
Awesome. And by the way, this structured data markup tool, it helps you with all kinds of things, not the homepage side. The homepage side, you do have to do that manually through the method we just showed you. But if you did have an article that you wanted, let's say, some more structured data on, that you would pop this in here, pop your URL in here, and submit it exactly that same way. So that's how you can do it manually, folks. Enjoy.